find out the alkalinity and then as well as acidity of a wastewater sample. Okay, so here as well as the wastewater, we are doing alkalinity for even the tap water and then also drinking water. So we have to conduct three set of experiments. So here first we'll start with the alkalinity of water sample. So the aim of that experiment is to determine the alkalinity of the given sample, and then the apparatus is required: conical flask, burette, pipette, measuring jar, and then standard flask, beaker, and then also balance is required to find to prepare the solutions. And then reagents required is here methyl orange indicator and then phenolphthalein indicators. So in the initial experiment, so you have to prepare the solution as required in the manual. So for example, if you want to find out the alkalinity, then you have to prepare the HCl solution as required in the manual. And then if you want to find out the acidity, then you have to prepare the sodium hydroxide as required in the manual. So you have to in the titration, so you have to you are doing the against with the opposite chemical reagents, so that it can utilize the required ions, and then so that it gives the value for respective either alkalinity or acidity. So you take the samples in the conical flask, so as per 20 ml or 50 ml as required in the manual. Then here you have to conduct the three set of experiment. One is for the tap water, and then another one is the drink water, and then the sample, the wastewater sample. So you take for 20 ml or 50 ml of the wastewater sample, and then you have to add the phenolphthalein indicators. So if the phenolphthalein indicator is there is no color changes, then we call it as a phenolphthalein alkalinity is 0. Then you have to add the methyl orange. So then methyl orange until add the methyl orange, and then you have to titrate against with the respective opposite chemical reagents. So for example, alkalinity, so you are using here in the burette, you are using the standard or as prepared HCl in the burette. And then so as per in the calculation, so you can do the calculation is here the volume of the HCl rundown you have to note down, that is the observation, and then normality of HCl. So here the normality of HCl, so you have to do, so before conducting the experiment you have to do the standardization by using the respective opposite chemical reagent. So you have to do the both standardization for both alkalinity as well as acidity. Okay, so this is for alkalinity, and then so this you will represent whatever the alkalinity present in the respective samples in as mg per liter as CaCO. Okay, and then similarly the same experiment procedure is conducted for the tap water and then as well as the drinking water, and then so all the three samples can be compared. So but in the acidity, so you are taking the sodium hydroxide in the burette, and then take the sample in conical flask, and then you add the phenolphthalein indicator, and then you do the titration with respect to sodium hydroxide, and then you find out the end point with respect to the end point. You stop down that rundown of that sodium hydroxide, and then you note down that value, and then you calculate as per the formula given in the manual. So and then you have to compare all the three readings, that is tap water and then as well as drinking water and then water samples. Okay, and then compare, and then you just put that values in with respect to the mg per liter per as CaCO. So let us see how to find out the alkalinity of a given sample. So in that part, so there are two alkalinity you have to find out. One is phenolphthalein alkalinity, another one is total alkalinity. And then whatever the sample you have taken, okay, and then you have to titrate against with the hydraulic acid. So for that you have to standardize that hydraulic acid with Na2CO3, and then you have to prepare, okay, as given in the manual. So you have to prepare that much of concentration of HCl and then Na2CO3, and then you have to titrate it, okay, and then you have to find out the standard, okay, the concentration of HCl you are going to use. So once take the given sample in a conical flask and then put the phenolphthalein indicator, and then you just note down the volume, okay, run down for phenolphthalein alkalinity. If you are getting some okay, some values, then so that is you have to put it in the phenolphthalein alkalinity calculations. So if you are not getting any phenolphthalein alkalinity, so then you continue by adding another indicator, and then you find out the round on volume, that is B, okay, and then here that where B is the volume of the HCl, okay, consumed. So N is the normality, whatever the normality you are getting after preparation, and then after standardization you have to use that one. So by using these two values, so you can calculate the T, that is the total alkalinity, and then results are given in terms of phenolphthalein alkalinity, that is mg per liter, and then total alkalinity, that is mg per liter. So similar way in the acidity also. So in that burette you have to titrate against with the sodium hydroxide.